What's up? We got Arrow Season 4, Episode 15, Taken. So this episode starts off with Felicity, of all characters, like trying to figure out how her legs can work. So as they're leaving, Damien Dark's like, "Hey, what's up, Oliver? I have your son, and if you don't drop out of the marital debate and support Roof AI, something bad might happen." And she's like, "Who's William?" And he's like, "My son." And then we get back into the annoying, remember that's, and she's like, "Don't talk. I can't hear another more lie." And he's like, "I can't believe that another child that you didn't tell me about." And I'm just like, they're really rehashing the episode. They're really redoing the same quote that Felicity did all the way in episode 8 again. But I guess why they're rehashing, because this is Felicity's first time saying it, but to us it's her second time, and oh boy, it is still annoying to hear her say that. So yeah, so he's like, "I wanted to tell you, but William's mom told him not to." And she's like, "Who kind of makes that ultimatum?" "I know, a bitch. A bad person does. I guess she wanted to protect her son, but still, yeah." So anyway, we have, Felicity being annoying again. So then Thea learns that she knows. She's like, Barry knows, and she's like, Malcolm Merlin knows. And then Thea's like, Felicity's like, "I can't believe everyone knows but her." Because, but blame Thea. Last episode, Thea was willing to have Oliver, thought that Oliver. So they're like, so then he's like, "Hey, Alex." And that's when Samantha, Clayton, shows up. I'm sorry for calling her a bitch, but she kind of is. She made Oliver create an ultimatum, which is breaking up him and Felicity right now. So she's like, "Oliver, I knew it. I knew keeping him away from you was the best decision." And I'm just like, "Then you're the worst. I guess you want to protect your son." And she's like, "What happened?" She's like, she went to get him for dinner and he was gone." Yeah, so then Thea, so he's like, "I can do something." And she's like, "What can you do what the police can't?" And he's like, "I'll find him." And she's like, "What can you do the police can't?" And he's like, "I'm the Green Arrow." So then we cut to her in the Arrow Cave, and she and Laurel reconcile, and she apologizes to Laurel for getting involved with Oliver. She knew that he and Oliver were together at the time, but still decided to get with him. And but Oliver's like, "Hey, we need one more help." So we're gonna get Vixen, aka Mari, who's a friend that Oliver met in an animated episode of her own show, which I guess is canon, but I didn't review it because it's not live action, but it's still canon in the Arrowverse lineup because they mention it, so it's kind of canon because they keep mentioning stuff that happened, like Mari and Laurel know each other, Barry and Mari know each other, even though Barry's not in this episode. She does mention Barry because she met Barry in the animated version of her own show. So this is kind of a continuation with her as Vixen. So then we see Mari, and she's stopping some guys, and he's like, "Come out here like a man." And she's like, "Why don't I beat your ass like a woman?" And uses her like totem to call on like a gorilla, calls on one of the animals. But then Oliver's like, and she's like, "I thought you vigilantes, I thought you were in Star City." And he's like, I need your help," because obviously he's going to Detroit to get her. So we see a Laurel in her reunion, and she's like, "This is Samantha Clayton." And she's like, "Can you help her find William?" She's like, "Do you have anything of him?" And she's like, a flash action figure. And she smells it, telling Oliver, "Don't tell Barry." Because they're friends, remember? She loves a friend with Cisco, as we learned in the animated episode. Weird that this is a thing. This feels like a trippy episode. This feels like not a thing because it's like a sequel to an animated show, but it's a sequel to an animated show. And I don't think, and as people tell me, this actress isn't that good. She doesn't even show up again. So I'm sorry for bashing this actress, but I feel like she could have. I feel like the writers could have given her more character development. Because she never even appears in the entire universe again. She has one background image on Legends of Tomorrow Season 3, but as for a full-time character, this is all we get of her. And it's very sad. I know that you're meant to watch the animated show to get more of this character, but I don't do that, so you're trying to make this a continuation, and it doesn't work as a continuation. I'm sorry. And Samantha Clayton continues to yell at Oliver. So they tried to fight Dark, and they say they missed, but she's like, "You missed? I knew it." And it's just, I knew it was a bad idea, and it's just like, come on. This whole episode is just, Samantha cannot keep her emotions in check. All she does through this entire episode is yell at Oliver. That's all she does, is yell at our man Oliver Queen, and it's kind of bad that she's annoying, that she's yelling at him. So, yeah. And Felicity, I just don't, do people think that, I like Felicity, but I feel like the writers really ruined her character this season because all she does is yell and get mad at Oliver. That's all she is this season. And when she's not getting mad at Oliver, she's getting mad, what's the point of having Felicity in this season if all she's gonna do is get mad at Oliver? Yeah. So then they decide to attack Dark, but Dark uses his totem, and so Oliver decides to do his one thing and support Ruve Adams dropping out of the mayoral race. Malcolm lies to Thea, saying that he had nothing to do with William's kidnapping, but we all know, and Thea later learned that this was a lie, because Malcolm Merwin is the terrible character, and he cares more about, he said that he wanted to save Thea, but he cared more about his power than doing that. So they decide to attack Damien, and he's seen the totem before somehow. He's seen her totem. So but they're able to draw what the totem looks like, and they find the totem as Damien Dark is about to kill all of them. They find the totem that Coincidence saw in his office, and she destroys it, releasing destroying all of Damien's magic, meaning that he's powerless now. And William now wants a Green Arrow action figure now, because of course he does. He was into the Flash, now he's into Green Arrow, and Felicity decides to be like, guess what, Oliver? I don't want you anymore. You lied to me because I'm a terrible person. You lied to me, so I don't want you anymore. And Oliver decided to give up his son. Oliver decided his son's better off not in his life, so his mom's going to take him away from Star City, give him off to a new name, and give him a new town, a new name, and he won't know who Oliver is until his 18th birthday. And then Felicity decides to be like, I'm sorry, Oliver, I can't do this, we're over. Because Felicity is the worst. And then it's revealed that she can walk again as she walks out on Oliver in their relationship. So, what does this episode serve? That Felicity is a terrible character. That's all this episode is. I had no fun with Felicity. Diggle is okay, and Laurel is just Laurel. And Samantha is just... She just deserves to get mad at everybody, including Oliver, because Oliver just couldn't find the result. Damien doesn't have his powers. Mari never comes back into the show again. Like, what was the... Vixen is a good character, but the acting for her just wasn't stellar. And Felicity just deciding to she couldn't deal with all the lying and all. Yeah, Felicity is a terrible character because she just decides to drop my boy Oliver Queen, and I don't like it. She decides to leave him. I'm gonna say I like this episode, but Mari acting just didn't make any sense. Felicity is just like, Oliver, I can't deal with the lying, so I'm done with you. Like, we're done, I'm breaking up with you. I'm just dropping our engagement ring, and we are over. Bye. Bye, Oliver Queen. And yeah, Felicity, I get what she's going through. She found out that her boyfriend lied to her and kept the son from her. But if you take it from Samantha's point of view, Samantha wanted to protect her son. And Felicity couldn't get that because she's the worst. So she decides to drop. And I'm just gonna say it. All of this, nothing is about her. Like, Felicity makes this whole everything that's Felicity just thinks everything's about herself when it's not. So anyway, that was it for this video. I hope Felicity is better next time, because this episode really downgraded her. And Mari, she never shows up again after this one episode, so we can just say that she's done. See you next time. Mari does show up in one Legend of Tomorrow, like one zoom-in shot, but for her acting, I guess she didn't want to. I guess this episode was so bad that the actress didn't want to come back ever again. But see you next time.